plan of action today for me is just, do we see continuation in dollar weakness stemming from the FOMC, or do we see profit taking from these big moves that we've had overnight? See how the market settles down. If the Kiwi kicks up, then I'm going to look for the Euro Kiwi, Pound Kiwi to slip lower, and we know they can do that. But very volatile pairs right now, very thin market too on them. So I put on a short with this little setup here. I put on a short in the dollar Swiss. If it's going to make a move, then I want to see it come on down. If it's not, my stop's going to be right above it. I'm not going to give it much, but I'm going to give it this. We got a setup here, so I want to see if it's going to try to push down. At least give us a double bottom to work with. Okay, it hasn't finished yet, so I'm sitting here. Just stepped in about 95.48. We'll see now if it pulls back up on me. I'm going to set my stop up in this area. Keep it fairly tight. Okay, keep it fairly tight, and then we'll see if we get continuation down. Okay. And that is on the idea that we'll probably see the euro, possibly see that euro kick back up. Hey Mervin, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hey Alan, how you doing? Good morning, Kevin. Hope everybody's doing well. Yes, you can learn more about dots and the dots method over at the Compass FX website for dots. The dots method is at www.compassfx.com/dots. If you want to learn more and see more. Now, we've added on my chart this morning. We've added the bank trader strategy, which is an addition to when the market extends to these higher levels, like what we've seen happening in like the euro pushing all the way up to a second weekly high target. Okay, by the way, folks, that pound is trying to push up above the 56.50 area. We're seeing a slide off on the Euro Aussie coming over. So like I said, we may see some profit taking today. We may see a driver. There goes the CAD pushing up. Good call on that, Rick, to the upside. We'll see if we get some continuation here on the dollar CAD back up. CAD pushed, made a pretty strong little spike here. We're seeing the CAD yen coming over, pound CAD coming back up. Now, we did have CPI and core CPI out of Canada today coming in line. And that's really all the news we have today, except for the leading index coming out at 10 this morning. And interestingly, just be careful here on this. There is a $1 billion option contract sitting at 130 on the dollar CAD. So we could get this push away, and then as 10 o'clock rolls around, 10 a.m. Eastern, we could see a slide back over towards that 130. But with the Aussie coming over right now, I'm not sure who's driving who here, but Aussie usually goes one way, CAD moving the other. Seeing a nice little double bottom on the pound Aussie, potential trade to the upside on the pound Aussie. It's trading though against the direction of long-term guppies. So like I said, we may be here seeing some reversals going on. Yeah, we got a nice little reversal type pattern trying to work itself out with this double bottom and a move up in the pound Aussie. If this Aussie continues to slide back to the downside off that weekly extension high number 2 and yesterday's high, possible roll to the downside. Let me throw up the Traders Dynamic Index on it. Let's just take a quick look what we got here. There we go. Whoops. Put the indicator on there. Look what we have in the Traders Dynamic Index. There's some continuation down. There's no divergence seen here on the 5. Got lower lows there. So, and a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern here. We could see possibility of a slide down lower in this. Now it is against the long-term guppies. Okay, so just caution here. This could be just the pullback for some profit taking. I'm not saying this is a go just yet, but we do see how the TDI is set up here to the downside. So sentiment is showing the same direction on the 5, but look here, we might still be in on some hidden divergence here, folks. This low has not broken that low just yet. This is lower here on the 15, but remember on the 5 they were going the same direction. They had the same, well, I'm sorry, excuse me. I saw it over here, but the bigger picture here is still showing hidden divergence. So this could be a bounce still back to the upside. We are rolling over, maybe for some profit taking, but this isn't set yet to go because of hidden divergence here. So with the pound Aussie trying to push back up, see how it pulled back? So let's be careful here. Again, this could just be a little bit of profit taking, squaring positions ahead of the weekend, and not necessarily yet a continuation trade. Again, the guppies haven't rolled completely over. So anyway, some of you, I still see some folks coming in the room. I want to welcome you to the Dots Trade Room. It's going to be an interesting day. If you just now join us, it's one of those days to where is there going to be profit taking from the big FOMC move, or are we going to get some continued weakness in the dollar? I'm watching the dollar index. That's one of the indicators that we monitor here down below. So I'm monitoring what it's doing here. The dollar index sits in the middle of our of our right, the middle column here down in this area. So the green line represents the dollar index. So we're getting a little push up back into some moving averages here. Suggests another downward action could happen here. The dollar's been weak, but the euro's been weaker, and we're seeing the currency the commodity currencies and the risk currencies still strong. So this is showing a bit of hidden divergence. We could get a bounce back up in the Aussie. I have put on a trade. I do have a couple of trades on right now. I've got the euro yen short. I've got a short in the dollar Swiss. I'm watching for some setups here. There could be in the pound Aussie, if we break here and continue down, or the pound breaks above this top here, we could see the pound Aussie push up. The pound is sitting up pretty high. It's got a topping pattern here. Got a little bit of a lower high. I know some of y'all got in on this morning and picked up about 20 pips or so to the upside here, coming off of a bit of a J-hook scenario here. You got these lower highs. Nice little push to the upside here, but kind of limited right now. The potential average daily range high is sitting up there at 56.82, so possible break higher in the pound. I'm watching for that potential if we get a potential break to the upside here. But big moves this week after a drop down. But I'm looking at a big move up, another move up, a third move up. Could be into a topping pattern here. We could get a pin high, hit the ADR, and then fall back over, just to establish a floor before pushing to the next level. Having a hard time seeing the chart. Which chart, Rick? The chart's not coming across? Yes, Charles, the trading room is open from Sunday evening through Friday afternoon. Too small. I'm not sure, Rick. You may need to, I mean, it's the same setup that I have every day. So, not sure, my friend. The euro yen, I stepped in the euro yen at 136.87, so that was overnight as it was pushing down. It doesn't necessarily hit the, have to hit the sell marker. Okay, now y'all, it is, by the way, we do have another potential trade right now in the euro yen. Okay, so I want to be, I think Thomas, you made the comment, did it hit the sell marker? This level here is labeled a sell entry based upon an average range in the market. We're not in an average range situation, but we do have a sell situation right now in the euro yen. Okay, we've had a pullback into the long-term guppies. We can literally trade short from level to level. Now it's got to come down, Thomas, and break the low here. So I am holding one from up here. We had a nice little setup up here overnight, and I've traded this. I've held into it, added to the position when it was rolling down. So I'm looking for some continuation down to this floor here. This is the area that I'm looking for it to get down to. Okay. For right now, we could get a break of this floor and continuation. There's a certain pattern that we have right here. There's a certain setup. We call it a 1, 2, 3, 4 setup, which allows us to step in earlier on a very good, strong Dots Guppy setup, because we had that right in here.